All right, so when you're thinking about moving to Oklahoma City, especially the suburbs, you need the right information. And that's exactly what most of our clients who are relocating from other states and even from some of the other countries want to know. So it might be the highly rated schools, it may be the new construction, or it might even just simply be a slower pace of life that really draws people into these suburbs. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the map and walk you through the top suburbs of Oklahoma City that you should know about. And I'll even take you inside a few neighborhoods so you can see what the homes look like. So if this is our first time meeting, my name is Freedom Johnson with the New Homes in OKC Relocation Guide. On this channel, my whole goal is to show you everything there is to know about eat, sleep, work, live, and play out here in the Oklahoma City metro. So grab some popcorn, stay tuned, and let's jump right into the map. All right, so let's start out by jumping onto the highway so you get an idea of where all the suburbs and where downtown and the airport is in proximity to everything. So a lot of people who are relocating really don't understand the highways, and this is going to be good because you need to watch out for one of these highways because it does have a toll tag. So let's get into it. So this is going to be your Norman and Moore area right here. And if you're coming in from Norman and Moore and you're going into downtown Oklahoma City, you're going to be using this highway right here. This is I-35. This leads all the way up throughout Edmond up to Kansas. And then your second main highway is going to be I-40. Now this goes east and west, and this leads you out past Yukon all the way out to Piedmont. So 35 is going to be your north and south, and then 40 is going to be your east and west. So those are going to be the two major highways that you're going to be using. You're also going to have Route 66, because Route 66 is going to be right here, and this is going to take you into Oklahoma City. This, as you can see right here, Oklahoma City, this is where everything really is, and this is going to lead you to your Scissortail Park, your Paycom Center, downtown, Bricktown, things like that. Some of the food districts as well, downtown Oklahoma City. 35 north and south, 40 is east and west. Now this highway right here, this is 77, but it's also called Broadway Extension. Now this leads you into your northeast side of Edmond. This is really the main highway that can get you onto Main Street, and then 35 is going to get you into, you know, if you live in further east in Edmond. Now this highway right here, this is 44, which is also called Lake Hefner Parkway. You know, this runs all the way from the airport all the way out through. This is going to get you to your West Edmond side. Lake Hefner Parkway is also going to take you to Lake Hefner, one of the actual lakes out here, right? So those are your main highways. So if we zoom in a little bit, let me actually show you this right here. I want to take you to another highway. Really, it's an expressway that you need to be aware of. This is going to be Northeast Expressway. Northeast Expressway really leads you, if you're going northwest, if you live out in Piedmont, Yukon, or your West Edmond, you know, so I'll put an E right here. This is going to be your Edmond, put a Y right here for Yukon, and then a P right here for Piedmont. So you would be using Northwest Expressway if you're coming downtown from Oklahoma City and you want to get out to that northwest side. You could use Northwest Expressway. Just remember again, you know, 74, but it's really called Lake Hefner Parkway. 74 is going to get you there. And then 77, which is really Broadway Extension, that's going to get you to your northeast side of Edmond. And then your main highway right here, 35, which is going to get you to your northeast side. And we'll touch on to where some of the lakes are as well. You've got 3 lakes out here. You've really got 4 because one, if we include Norman, you've got Lake Thunderbird. You've got some good lakes for some of that boating and activity, things that you want to do. You've got that access out here as well. But here's the highway that I definitely tell people to be aware of, because if you're coming from a big city, maybe you're coming from California, Texas, maybe you're coming from Florida, you might be used to a toll tag. Oklahoma City really isn't used to paying for tolls to get anywhere. You really don't need to use this particular highway to get anywhere that you need to go into the Oklahoma City metro. But just to be aware, there is one highway which is called 344, also known as Kilpatrick Turnpike. This highway right here is a toll. In fact, let me go ahead and just zoom out and actually show you the entire highway of 344. So this is where you start paying for tolls at right here. So a lot of people catch one of those bills and you're like, hey, what is this? This is the only highway that you're going to be charged for to go ahead and get somewhere. Now, since it's not something Oklahoma City is used to, it's not a lot of traffic. The only time that you might see traffic is if there is a car wreck, but it does get you where you need to go faster. You know, I live in Yukon, so anytime my clients are needing to see properties out in Edmond, I am using this highway quite a bit. My wife hates it, but I can say it's a lot less than what I was paying when we were living out there in Texas. I lived in Texas for 15 years, so I was hitting the tolls all the time, at easily $200-300 a month just for me to get somewhere. Out here in Oklahoma City, only if I'm using this highway, I may be looking at maybe $30 a month. You don't need to use that highway to get where you need to go. Now, 2 of the major landmarks that you need to know about whenever you're living out here is downtown Oklahoma City. City and the Will Rogers Airport. So just to show you, I'm going to put this on the map so you can see how far these are, because this is where Oklahoma City downtown, this is going to get you to your Boathouse District, your O'Connor Resort, Scissortail Park, Paycom, to see the Oklahoma City Thunder Pay, or to see one of the concerts that's going on. Paycom Center is going to be where most of those events are going to be at. And then right here is going to be Will Rogers Airport. So as you can see right here, this is how far the airport is to downtown Oklahoma City. So you can see this is something that a lot of people who are relocating just really appreciate, because everything is going to really be within this 20 to 30 minute drive, no matter where you're trying to go. But you can see from downtown Oklahoma City to the airport is just right now, it's about a 15-minute drive. And that's if you're taking I-44. So what I want to do now is actually talk about some of the suburbs that you need to know whenever you're relocating out here. So let's get into that. All right. So the first suburb that we want to touch on today is going to be Norman. And we're going to have some more suburbs that we'll touch on as well. We're going to talk about more Mustang, Yukon, Piedmont, and we're going to touch on Edmond as well. But I want to get started with Norman, because Norman is a really unique town. Now, as you can see, you're going to be taking I-35 to get you into your downtown Oklahoma City area. But I want to show you how far that this is in proximity to downtown. So as you can see, this is about a 26 to 30 minute drive with the traffic. I would say add about another 5 or 10 minutes there with the traffic, just because I-35 is going to be the main highway that you're going to be using if you're coming in from Norman and you're driving into Oklahoma City. You know, I-35 is heavily trafficked because it runs you through more in South Oklahoma City. So this main highway is going to have a lot more people on the road during, the times that people are getting off of work and times people are getting out of schools. But 26 to 30 minute drive to get to downtown Oklahoma City, and about the same time whenever you're coming to the Will Rogers Airport. But the airport is international airport, so this is going to get you everywhere you need to go. If you're trying to go to Texas, you want to go to LA, Chicago, Florida, a lot of your flights are going to be out Will Rogers Airport. This just gives you a good idea of how close it is. That's something that you're going to be hearing consistently throughout the video, is everything is really going to be within this 20 to 30 minute drive. But touching back on to Norman, it has about 130,000 people, and it's really known as this college town, right? You're going to have Campus Corner, which is Oklahoma Sooners. This is where the Oklahoma Sooners play. So OU football is really big out here in Oklahoma. So on those 7 to 8 home games, you're going to see more traffic into the Norman area, but it's a really good area. Make sure that you check out greatschools.org and nice.com to actually look up some of the schools. There are going to be some private school options available for you out here in Norman. But the public schools, you're going to have about 3 high schools, 4 middle schools, and about 7 elementary schools in Norman. But I want to touch on something, because even though this is Norman right here, there's a brand new subdivision out here as well. This is Sailor. This is a master plan development, and we'll see some of the homes out here, and I'll take you into that so you can see that. This is another Norman area as well. But you've got your Riverwind Casino, so a lot of your famous artists are going to be having entertainment shows and going to be doing shows out there in Riverwind Casino. So you're close to some entertainment. You're going to have a shopping center. You're going to have a lot of parks as well for you to go out to. You're going to have a golf course out in Norman as well. But people like living into the Norman area because it is a college town, right? It's that college vibe. So anytime that you're driving down, don't be surprised if you see that Crimson and Tide flag hanging out of someone's house or out of someone's car, because it really is, the city really comes together whenever the college games are going on. So those 7 to 8 home games is when it's going to be the most traffic. Now, as far as the homes, there is a lot of new construction. There's a lot of homes that's going to be available, and we'll jump onto the map and I'll show you that. You're going to have homes available inside Norman proper, but a lot of the new construction is going to be outside of the actual downtown area in Norman. So I'll show you what some of those homes look like as well. And you're going to have that new subdivision that I was telling you about, Sailor, that master plan development has some homes available as well. But just zooming out, just so you see it's not too far from Oklahoma City, like we touched on, about 25 to 30 minutes. But the schools are really good out in Norman. Shopping is good food, good restaurants, and really good parks. So let's actually go take a look at what some of the homes look like out here so you get a good idea of what Norman's like. Now, like I was telling you, this is all new construction right here. And you can see a lot of that is on the outside part of Norman. You might have a few inside Norman, and inside Norman proper, this is where maybe one of the homes was remodeled or torn down an older unit and they put a new home here. But a lot of your subdivisions and your communities are really going to be outside of the Norman proper area. Now, your price range of these homes are really going to range between $300,000 and up. You will find some $280,000, $269,000. Those are going to be your 2-bed, 1-baths. Most of your homes are really going to be $300,000 and up. So if you're looking for some of those larger lots, some of those master plan communities with those amenities like parks and walking trails, you're going to be $300,000 and up. Now, the median price is around $319,000. The national average for a home all over the U.S. is $450,000. So you can still get a brand new home less than what it is in the national average out here in Norman. And just to give you an idea, let's actually go take a look. Now, it doesn't look like it's a lot of homes, but that's because a lot of these are subdivisions. For instance, here's that subdivision I was telling you about. This is Sailor. So just pulling in the Sailor, you can see there's multiple homes available in each subdivision. So to give you a good idea, the typical home that you're going to see is really going to be modern, craftsman, traditional. You'll find a few contemporary homes available out in Norman, but you're going to have your, just looking at this one right here, this is a 3-car garage. A lot of your homes are going to be brick, and you're going to have a lot of builder options as well. You'll see homes, this is $400,000. You'll see homes with, tray ceilings. You'll have your open concept. You'll have a lot of cabinets and storage. You've got your cabinets going all the way up to the ceilings right here. A lot of recessed lighting. You'll have fireplaces. This $400,000 is really going to get you, your 4-bed, 2.5-bath, and 3-car garages. But even just looking at some more options here, Landmark is a really good builder. This is around $394,000. So you got your modern craftsman, you got your covered front porch as well, 2-car garage. You'll have enough space for you to have, some toys and for your kids, maybe a covered back porch as well. This one has a fireplace, but you'll have your tall ceilings. You're going to have your luxury vinyl planking, so that's really good flooring. Like I said, tall ceilings, a lot of space for you and your friends and your family to come out, hang out, and you're not feeling like you're cramped on top of each other. Really good incentives with builders as well. So talking about some of the builders out here in this area, you're going to have your builders like D.R. Horton. You're going to have Homes by Tabor, Home Creation, Landmark Fine Homes, and you're going to have other builders as well. So if you're thinking about living in Norman, you're going to have a few builder options that a lot of people want that new construction because they're getting that, those incentives towards the closing costs, maybe lower interest rate, but also that builder's warranty, which is something that people like for that first year as well. But you have about 200 homes that are available right now just in the new construction. But if you want some of those older character style homes, you're definitely going to have that. But I want to take you to the area that I was telling you about called Sailor. Now, Sailor, this is Norman, and then this right here is Norman as well. I'm gonna put an S right here because this master plan development is called Sailor, but you're gonna have the first master plan community out here that it's really interactive community. You're gonna have your homes, you're gonna have townhomes, you're gonna have shopping, you're gonna have restaurants, you're even gonna have like animals out there where you can ride llamas and horses. And the price points in the Sailor district are really gonna start about $500,000 and up. Show you some of these right here, just looking at some of the prices. You can see like $629, $699. Here's one in Norman and Sailor as well, $329. This is a bungalow. I remember seeing this one right here. You're going to have this master planned community. A lot of people that are wanting to move into Sailor is because they want some of this new construction. They want to be close, and you can literally see OU football stadium from Sailor, but they want a community as well. And a lot of these properties are being Airbnb'd out. It's such a great area. It's something we have a video coming out talking about Sailor as well, but you can see, this is the bungalow style. You're going to have a lot of options out there in Norman. So the next suburb that you need to know about is Moore, Oklahoma. Now, this is right in between Oklahoma City and Moore. You can see there's Norman, there's Oklahoma City, and then you've got Moore right here. So Moore's a little bit closer to the downtown area, but just to get you a good idea of what that traffic time is going to be looking like, you are going to be using I-35 to get you into the downtown area. Let's actually pull up what that drive time looks like. So it's going to be about a 16-minute drive if you're coming from Moore into downtown. But Will Rogers Airport is a little bit closer because as you can see here on the map, you see this is Moore, and then this area right here is Will Rogers Airport. So as you can see, this is about a 15-minute drive over from Moore to the Will Rogers Airport. So I actually want to pull up here so you can see it for yourself. Really quick commute over to the airport. I think we need to actually talk about some of the new construction out here because there's going to be some expectations that you got to set for yourself as you move throughout these suburbs. So as we're looking into the more construction, you can see this is I-35, and then this is going to get you up toward Oklahoma City. So if we just zoom out a little bit there, as you can see, you don't have a lot of options of new construction. Now, you are going to have about 30 to 40 homes that are being built out here, but you're not going to have as many options because this is more inside the South Oklahoma City. This is a more established area. So you're going to see more development in some of these other suburbs. But just to get you a good idea of what some of the options that are going to be available for you, you're going to have homes in the 260,000, but most of your homes are really going to be, I'm seeing what, 315, 320, 330. Most of your homes are going to be in that $300,000 price range and up of new builds. Now, you can get some larger homes if you want to live in more as well, but the average person is going to be spending somewhere between $300,000 and $400,000 if they want to live into the more area. As far as the schools, you're going to have 3 high schools. You're going to have Westmore High School, Moore High School, and Southmore High School. Then you're going to have about 20 elementary schools out there and more. But people do like living in Moore because it's close proximity to Oklahoma City, downtown, and to the airport. Now, every city is going to have its own reputation, right? Moore does have a reputation for having 2 tornadoes in the last 20 years, so you can take that with a grain of salt if you want. People are still being attracted to live out to Moore. There's going to be great schools, great parks. There's a great movie theater named Warren out there as well. A lot of the homes that are being built with storm shelters as well, so you can get you a brand new build living in the Moore area, have a safe house, new construction, and you can deal with getting some of those builder incentives, lower interest rates, getting your closing costs and things like that covered with some of the builders out there. So Moore is a pretty decent area. I would say the traffic does get crazy because I-35, the traffic is going to, expect another delay of maybe 10 minutes whenever you're driving in from downtown Oklahoma City and you're coming back into Moore. All right, so the next suburb that we want to talk about is going to be Mustang. Now, this is a small town vibe, but people really do like it because it's really close proximity to Oklahoma City. So you can see you're going to be taking your Highway 40, and you're really going to be taking, this is Yukon Parkway, this is Mustang Road. You're really just going to be taking the main road, jumping on the 40 to get down there. I want to actually show you drive time from Mustang to Oklahoma City. So as you can see here, you're looking about a 25 minute commute to get from Mustang into Oklahoma City, and most of that driving is going to be getting from the actual main roads in Mustang to get you onto the highway. Now, Mustang really is a small town feel. It has 1 high school, has about 3 middle schools, and a lot more elementary schools. It is a small town feel. This was once an area that was really more rural, but it is definitely growing. A lot of developers are building new communities and new homes out here. So as we take a look at some of the new homes, you're not only going to see a lot more options than what you were seeing in Moore, but you're also going to see more affordable price point. You're going to see a lot of homes in the 200,000s. You can see 24 to 25 minutes that's going to get you downtown, but also proximity to the Will Rogers Airport is going to be fairly close as well. As I pull it up right here, you can see it's about a 17-minute drive to get you to the airport. Now, as we jump into these houses, now you can see right here, you're going to see, it doesn't look like it's a lot of houses, but it's quite a bit because a lot of these are new communities. But as you can see, just as I'm throwing my cursor over, you can see some homes in the 300s. But this is why a lot of first-time home buyers decide to move to Mustang. Looking at the price points here, guys, you can see we're looking at homes that are 215, 239, 254. You're going to see more homes in the Mustang area that are in that $200,000 range. Now, you are going to have your larger homes as well that are available in Mustang. But first-time home buyer homes, a lot of people are moving, dealing with builders like Colony Fine Homes. You're going to get D.R. Horton. You're going to get Homes by Tabor. These first-time home builders homes are going to be smaller homes now. They are going to be about 1,500 to 1,700 square feet. But a lot of people like gravitating towards Mustang just because of that affordability price. Lots are really cheap out there, and it's still a lot of growth to be had in the Mustang area because there's so much green space out there. Now, there's some great parks out there as well. There's a park recreation center. During the summer, they keep the aquatic center open. I've even taken my kids down there. So I think what we should do is actually jump off of the map. Let's actually jump into one of the neighborhoods in Mustang so you can see what some of these homes look like. So Mustang is going to have a few builders, and this particular neighborhood is by Tabor Homes. Now you can see a lot of their homes are going to be modern, craftsman, traditional. A lot of the homes in some of these areas, about 350,000 and up, are going to have 3-car garages. But the new subdivisions, people like them because you've got the walking trails. You'll have basketball courts. You'll also have some some parks. And that's why people like living out here in Mustang. So you can just even see just the quality of the homes that they're going to have. You're going to have some of these open concept style homes. You're going to have nice finishes. You'll have some of these built-in appliances as well, but really large homes out here in Mustang, and people like living in Mustang while they even work downtown to Oklahoma City. So just wanted to give you a quick idea of just what you're going to be expecting if you're thinking about buying some homes with some new construction out here in the Oklahoma City area. And you can still have that small town living while you're working downtown or somewhere else. So let's get back to the next one. All right, now our next city is Yukon. Now I know the border actually shows this area right here, but I'm actually going to expand that because Yukon is growing and it's actually a lot larger than what just was showing up here on the Google Maps. So if we zoom out a little bit, the real Yukon borders are really going to be, we'll start here and then we'll expand it out here to Surrey Hills, then right under Piedmont, right? So Yukon is a little bit larger than what we're actually looking at on the Google Maps, but what I'm going to show you is where some of the homes are. You'll actually see what I mean. Yukon is a great development, a lot of green space, a lot of opportunity too. A lot of people who are not only relocating from other states, other countries are moving to Yukon, but also the locals that are living in Oklahoma City themselves are deciding to move to Yukon as well because they're getting so much new construction and new development. So I want to zoom in a little bit, actually show you the city. Now, the way the city is actually built, you've got old Yukon and you've got new Yukon, right? So your newer part of Yukon, this is Route 66. This is that highway that we talked about earlier. Now, a lot of your new development is going to be into this area here and into this area back here, right? Now, old Yukon is really going to be in the center, which is where the downtown is. You know, that's where Main Street is, you know, your 1960s, 1970s, you know, one-story type homes like that. A lot of your new development is going to be out here. So instead of me actually just showing you on the map, let's actually go look and see what these houses look like onto the actual MLS. So you can see there's a lot of homes that are available in that $200,000. A lot of these builders that we've been touching on today, I actually have a video coming out where we'll be touching on, showing you some more of these builders, but you've got a lot of home price options out here ranging from as little as 225, even all the way up to the $1 million price point as well. You can see you've got really large homes out here. I think people really like living towards the Yukon area just because you're getting more bang for your buck. But also, if you look up on the map right here, one thing that's really driving people here is that you can live out in Yukon and you're still really close to lake life, right? So, you know, even I live in this area, so I'm about a 6-minute drive away from Lake Overholser. So my kids like to go fishing and be out on the water. But there are some parks as well as right. You've got Route 66 Park, and then your other park as well. You're going to have Chisholm Trail Park, which is a great park, great for hiking, walking trails. They've got some water out there in that area as well. But even during the Christmas time, Chisholm Trail Park actually turns into a drive-through winter scene. So I don't know how to explain it, but you can drive through, you can pay, and then you can see all these lights and Christmas lights. So it's really cool. A lot of people coming in from all over the OKC metro to go see Chisholm Trail. But jumping back onto the housing, you can see you're going to have a lot of options out there, and you're going to have your contemporary homes, your farmhouse, your traditional. Just pulling up into one random one right here, you can see this is about $500,000, about $550,000. But you can see you've got your two-tone cabinets, 3-car garages. This looks like this is about 1.5 story, but you can see the features on $500,000. You're getting your wall features right there. Really, really nice homes out here in Yukon, and people are moving all over to live out in Yukon. But let's actually jump into one of the neighborhoods in the city and let's keep moving. Now, it really is no surprise why Yukon is one of the top suburbs that people are deciding to move to, especially when they're thinking about living into some of these suburbs that are a little bit closer to Oklahoma City. Like I said, this one is about 20 minutes downtown. But as you can see, a lot of the homes in some of the subdivisions in Yukon are just really, really nice. And these homes are about $380,000 and up. But you can just see just this specific builder right here, one of the subdivisions that they're building. This is Ideal Homes. But you can just see just with the type of finishes that they're going to be having in here. One of the things that people like living in Yukon is from the many variety of builders, like what we're looking at right here with Ideal Homes. You know, you'll have homes with the faux wood, you'll have large homes, you'll have houses that have standalone showers, but also jetted tubs. You'll even have some houses that are about $380,000 with even going to have some offices as well. So I hope this kind of gives you an idea of why Yukon is one of the top suburbs with all the different builder options that they have. So let's jump back into the video now. Now, the next suburb that we're going to talk about is going to be Edmond. And Edmond really is like the golden child of Oklahoma City. The best way I could really explain Edmond is that the city was built with intention. You're going to see so much new development. You're going to see shopping. You're going to see entertainment. Edmond really is one of the go-to places, one of the more commonly known places that people start to ask about whenever they are relocating from other states and other countries. So Edmond really is a great place. I mean, you're going to have a lot of great parks as well, and some good lakes as well. You're going to have Arcadia Lake. You'll have Hafer Park. You'll have some more parks out there as well. I can't remember all the names off the top of my head, but Edmond really does kind of span into 3 different sections. You're going to have your West Edmond, then you're going to have your downtown Edmond, and then you're also going to have your East Edmond right here. So you could take 2 different routes to get here, right? You could take I-35, and that's going to lead you right into East Edmond, and then you could drive around. Or you could take 77, which also is Broadway Extension. That'll lead you right into the heart of Edmond, to your downtown, and then you could decide to go, west or east. But there's also 3 different schools, right? You're going to have Edmond schools, then you're also going to have Deer Creek schools as well. That's in the west side of Edmond. People really do like living out in Edmond because the city is a beautiful city. Like I said, you've got great parks, you've got great lakes, and you also have great golfing out there as well. You're going to have some great restaurants. The video that I actually touched on, this video right here, that was touching on, things to expect whenever you're living out here in Oklahoma City, touches on one of the restaurants that you need to know about, which is Birdie's. That's actually in Edmond as well. So make sure that you actually watch that video right there. But what people really do need to know about Edmond is that this is a higher price point because it's such a desirable area, right? So the average house is going to be really around about $359,000. But let's actually go take a look at what some of these houses are looking like, show you some of these options. Every builder is building out here in the Edmond area. Now, as you can see right here, that's great. Some of those mass-produced builders that we talked about, Lennar Home Creations, Ideal Homes by Tabors. I wouldn't say Ideal Homes is a mass producer, but they are a local producer, but they're not nationally known. You're going to have some homes in your 200,000, you're going to have your options, but most of your homes are really going to be, 300 and up. But because since Edmond is such a desirable area, you're going to see custom homes, way more custom homes get built, way more master plans get built. Homes in $500,000, 600, 700,000. You're going to see great homes, great subdivisions. I've got some videos coming up showing you why Edmond is such a desirable area as well. The same amount of home that you could get in Mustang, you can get that same home in Edmond, but it might be a little bit more. So that's something to be conscious of. But because you have such a variety of options out there in Edmond, I think you do get introduced to more builders and different styles. But you can take a look, like you can use Timbercraft, for example. Timbercraft is a local builder. Actually, we made a video about Timbercraft and one of the floor plans that they were putting into Echo Park, one of their subdivisions that they're building some homes in. But Timbercraft, for example, a lot of contemporary homes, but you can see this home right here, $329,000. This one is ranging from about 1,400 square feet, 3-bed, 2.5 bath. You can see, since Edmond is desirable, you're going to see quite a few builders. So let's see if we can see someone else. So here's one for an example. This is out here in Edmond, right? You've got your pretty large home with your wood tile flooring. You can see you've got, I believe this one looks like this is Beacon right here, another local builder out here. You can see you've got all the way up to your ceiling cabinets. Pretty decent, pretty nice home right here. Got your 2-tone. I see the island is the dark tone cabinets with the nice appliance handles right there. So you're going to have your options. You're going to have a lot more options in your 350, 360s. It just depends on how big your budget is. If you want to go all the way up to $1 million and you want to live on a large estate on an acre, you've got those options out there in Edmond as well. But since there's so many options, I just wanted you to get a good idea of some of these suburbs, because a lot of people moving out here don't understand all the suburb options that you're going to have, because you're going to have a lot of different suburbs in the OKC metro. You're going to have your Edmond, you're going to have Yukon, you're going to have Mustang, you're going to have Norman, you're going to have more. There are some smaller suburbs that we'll probably make a video on talking about. You're going to have like Newcastle, Blanchard, and Piedmont are some options as well, but those are way more rural. The difference between the suburbs that we're talking about today, this is where a lot of your life is going to be built out. This is where parks, this is where amenities, features, closeness to the highway is going to be, you know, that Piedmont, Newcastle, Blanchard, Tuttle, things like that. Those are way more rural. The difference in that, you're not going to have a lot of amenities, not a lot of shopping options as well. So I wanted to touch on, these are the top suburbs that people really want to move out to whenever they're moving out. All right, so that's going to sum it up for this video. But in case you didn't get to see the Yukon schools, so the Yukon schools have about 10 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. But the Edmond schools, they have about 19 elementaries, 6 middle schools, and 3 high schools. And those are some top rated schools. So like I've been saying throughout the video, make sure that you go to greatschools.org and niche.com to get a good understanding about some of these schools in these suburbs. But this video is really broken down just so you get a really good idea of some of the suburbs out here. And we're going to have more videos coming out about some of the smaller suburbs as well. So I hope these videos are helping you guys get a really good understanding of what it's like living out here in the OKC suburbs and just the OKC metro overall. But if you're still in that search mode and you want to figure out what's going to be the best area for you, make sure that you actually reach out to me below. All my information is going to be below in the video and pinned to the top of the chat. But if you're still in search mode and you need some more information, check out this video right here.